Well, got a good ripe Ruby Supreme off the tree, and see how big it is. It's probably about, you know, 3/4 of a pound, not cut in half. But I keep a lot of these bagged up, and because they tend to get worms. I know I got one off the tree a couple weeks ago, and it had a worm in it, probably more than one worm. But the way you can really tell that they have worms is, when they start to feel ripe, they're kind of squishy. And there's something about like a ripe guava that has worms in it where it's kind of squishy but spongy, and that's because the worms have been like eating around the surface. They don't usually tend to get to the center unless it's like been in there for a while. But what I usually do is like I'll cut a wedge like this just to make sure. And if you see that kind of the whole thing is intact like that, typically, in my experience, there's no worms. So it's good to eat. And how do you eat a fresh guava? Well, you got to watch out for these hard seeds in the center. You can eat them. Sometimes they do crunch up, but I usually just take a bite. You eat the skin at all. It has the texture of a pear, obviously the flavor of guava. The Ruby Supremes are pretty dang sweet, especially if you let them get really soft and ripe. But I like them at this stage where they're like slightly underripe, because there's just like a nice bite to it, and the seeds they're not as hard, so you can kind of crunch a few of them. But I don't recommend like biting down hard. You just kind of take a bite and then gently bite into it with your teeth, and that way you're not like damaging your teeth with the seeds. And if they don't give with like very slight pressure, just you can swallow it whole. It's completely fine. But yeah, get you some guava.